But you guys, the moment that we've all been waiting for, Sam Humphrey from The Greatest Showman is joining us.
How you going?
How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. Wow. It's been such a good response, such a positive response. Were you guys expecting that going into the movie, or is it just completely blown you away?
I think, you know, obviously we were expecting very good responses to it, but I mean, this has just absolutely blown us away how much people really love the film.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's got the song stuck in their head. They just can't stop singing it.
Yeah.
I do too.
Yeah, that's good.
And how busy are you now that, I mean, yes, it gained a lot of attention when it first came out, but I feel like, especially on the heels of the Golden Globe win, it's just picking up and picking up. Are more, do you have to do more press? Do you have to do more promotion and all that? Kind of explain what this journey is like.
Yeah. Well, it's certainly gotten quite busy for me with all the social media and with the winning of our Golden Globe for our song "This Is Me." It's been pretty crazy. And I've been, you know, having people message me saying that they love me and, you know, saying how cute and adorable I am.
That's so
and
sweet.
So, yeah, it's been pretty hectic. But it's definitely been, you know, a good week and a half since our winning of our Golden Globe.
Yeah,
wow.
No, congratulations, because
Thank
it's
you.
so impressive. And the song is so good. Again, it is in my head
Amazing.
all the time. But I'm wondering, have you had any like fun or crazy encounters since the movie?
Not really. I mean, I've just had a lot of people sending me in fan art and a lot of people
so cool, though.
drawing like amazing drawings of me in my general's outfit.
Nice.
It's absolutely amazing. I put them all up on my social media.
Oh, that's super cool.
I feel like I should like give them notice when people draw me fan art. It takes a lot of effort to do that.
You know you made it though when people draw fan art of you.
That's true.
We're still waiting for our fan art if anyone wants to draw anything.
Definitely, draw something.
I'm kidding.
Right now, screen grab this, draw us all, okay? Put it on
Everyone
Instagram.
give our best poses.
And we'll
I'm
look
kidding.
for it. We'll
Definitely.
I want to bring it back to the very beginning. Let's flashback Friday. When did you get into acting?
So I basically got into acting when I was about 8 years old.
Wow.
Hugh was actually my inspiration for getting into acting. I saw him for the first time in X-Men.
Wow.
And I don't know, it just sort of drew me into like the film and drew me into that kind of a career. I mean, I've always wanted to do acting since I was about 5. But, you know, as any little kid says, you know, I want to be a fireman, I want to be an actor, and such and such. But when I was 8 and I saw Hugh on screen, I was kind of like, you know what, I really do want to be an actor. And then Hugh's always been my inspiration to actually follow that dream.
So did you have, a full circle moment on set with him? Were you able to kind of tell him that he was the inspiration behind you going into acting?
I didn't necessarily be able to tell him at that point. But we have had, you know, since we've finished the film and he's my mentor now, I have told him how much, you know, he means to me and how inspirational he was and that he was the one who got me into acting. So, and he absolutely loves that and, you know, I adore him, so.
It's funny too because of the premise of the film is that, you know, he's got this big idea and he's just going to bring, you know, this show to the world.
Right.
And it's kind of funny because he did that essentially for you in your real life. So
I mean, one of the greatest moments I had was when he said, I'm going to make you a star.
Yeah,
and like, for me, it just feels like it's all coming true. Like, he's my mentor and he's giving me great career advice. And I was in this amazing film with him and like, he really is making you a star. So it's it's amazing.
What was it like? Again, you guys had such an incredible cast. You know, Hugh was like we were talking about right now, and you also have Zendaya on there. You've got
Michelle Williams, Zac Efron, everybody.
The list goes on. So what was it like working with, you know, such a collective group, you know, of actors?
It was pretty crazy. I mean, I've got to admit, like the very first time I went on set, I was extremely intimidated. I mean, here I have Hugh, like, you know, only meters away from me, and I'm like, I couldn't get into character. It was quite daunting.
Really?
But then he sort of did this thing where he touched me on my shoulder and he like gave me this massive inspirational speech, and he was like, Sam, you're incredible, you're unique, and like he just kept on repeating that, and I broke down. I literally rolled my eyes.
No, that's amazing.
But Zac and Zendaya, they're amazing. I had this one moment in the film where Hugh's character, he's left to go on tour with Jenny Lynn, and Zac's character, he's like doing up my general's uniform, and it was like a really sweet moment because afterwards we sort of bonded a little bit over that moment. And he also, in one of the scenes, he accidentally like slapped me across the face. It was a cool moment that we had afterwards, though, because he was apologizing to me and he hugged me and he picked me up as well. So it was quite cool.
That's amazing.
You know you made it too when you get slapped by Hugh Jackman.
That's true.
Jeez.
In the face, exactly. Were there any other moments on set that you can share with us? Because it sounds like you guys had a relationship on set and off set.
I mean, we all became like the tight little family on set. Because I mean, obviously the theme of the movie is, you know, to accept, you know, everyone as they are. And P.T. Barnum did that. He brought like all the undies together into the circus, and we became a tight family on set and off set. I mean, a lot of us, when we, you know, weren't filming or we weren't doing our part, we came onto set just so that we could watch each other perform and act. It was amazing.
Well, it is a beautiful performance. Was it physically demanding? I mean, you guys are obviously acting throughout the show, but dancing and singing, and it sounds like it would be kind of a workout, honestly.
It was quite like intense. I mean, to learn to sing and dance for like, you know, 3 months. We had rehearsals, and even while we were filming, like I was spending like 8 hours a day, like when I was off set, practicing the dances and practicing songs. It was excruciating.
Wow, that is
like
hours? I mean, that's a lot
hours.
of
I mean, it was crazy. But my fun fact is I was on my knees for the entire shoot.
Wait, you were on your knees for the entire shoot?
Yeah. So I learned how to knee walk. It's a great skill that I have.
Wow, the entire time?
The entire time.
Is this like a new skill, like that you knew? Did you always know you had this skill, or was this something you developed on set?
I learned it on set. So they built me these like incredible knee shoes.
I was gonna say, I hope that you know you had protection right there.
I did, but you know, after a few hours in it, it just goes away.
That's so funny. Wow, what a fun fact. I never obviously would have known that because you pulled it off so well. So
Thank you.
What an odd but cool skill to have.
It is. I put it on my resume now. So
there you go.
That should be on your Instagram bio right there. That's
hashtag knee walker.
Yeah, exactly. You guys, we're starting it right now. That should be a Musical.ly thing. If you guys, everyone watching, want to go ahead and walk on your knees and tag us in the video, let us know. We'll know if you tagged us. Of course, if you're following, you guys can go right above. I think it's my head. Right here. I think.
It's somewhere up here. There's a little...
Hit the city high button. You hit the follow. That way you get a notification every time we go live. Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I told you guys I would do that because I say that so much.
For those of you who are just joining us on After the Bell, I'm Cassie DeLaura. That is Taylor Audette. And we are so honored to have Sam Humphrey from The Greatest Showman joining us. And for those of you who haven't seen the movie yet, run. Don't walk to the nearest movie theater. And this weekend...
On your knees. That's the trick. You'll know who sent you if we see you doing that.
And this weekend, if they go to the movie theater, it's a special sing-along, correct? Tell us a little bit about that.
So we are releasing it again this today. It came out today.
Wow.
It's going to be out for the next week, and there's a special sing-along version. So if you are, you know, a huge fan of all the songs, which I'm sure we all are, because we can't stop singing it, get along to one of the sing-alongs, and you'll be joined with, you know, hundreds of other people who are singing out the songs.
If I went by myself, maybe not so much, but with a room full of other people, I would be comfortable to sing it.
Yes, well, the Golden Globes as well, we were talking about that, you know, This Is Me won for Best Song.
Yeah.
Was this one of your first tracks that you've ever laid your vocals down on, or have you done this before?
Well, singing's not a natural thing for me, so obviously I had to learn to sing for the 3 months, and it was quite, you know, quite tough for me to learn to sing.
So people can learn to do it? I didn't think
they can learn to do it, yeah. Definitely.
Vocal coach,
yes,
right?
Exactly. But then, okay, so then you learned to sing, and now your song is, you know, a Golden Globe winning.
Yes.
So are you gonna lay down, you know, like an album later, or are we just gonna stop while we're on top right now?
I think we're just gonna stop while we're on top right now.
Well, I thought it was funny at the Globes when Hugh said in a speech, he was like, "That's it. I'm done acting. I'm just going into music now." There you go. He's got it.
He's got the passion and he's got the skills for it. So yeah.
I think he was kidding, guys. We're gonna. I think he's literally down in Atlanta right now shooting a new movie, right? I think so. He was just kidding. He's just kidding.
What is it like when you wrap up a film? I mean, because people don't realize then your job's over, right? And then you know, look again. I'm sure you're not looking for new work. I'm sure it's lined up at your door. But do you rest at all? Like, what's the process like in between films?
I think you sort of, depending on, you know, what roles and stuff you're getting, you kind of get ready to get into the next character that you've got coming up. Obviously, you know, you've got to look after yourself and, you know, exercise and all that kind of stuff so that you can stay, you know, healthy and fit, ready for your next role.
Right.
But I'm sure we get a little bit of downtime as well, because Rest is important, you know,
Rest
definitely
is
important. So
speaking of like next roles, you're out here in LA now, and I know the movie just came out, and you guys are riding high on that. Do you have any, you know, sights for the future of more movies or TV? What do you kind of want to venture into next?
well, you know, for me, I would love to, you know, become a superhero. You know, that's kind of one of my dream roles. But I'm also a huge Star Wars fan.
Nice.
I'm a massive like Star Wars geek. So that's also another one of my dream roles, like just to get into a Star Wars film. So if I don't even get seen, you know, if I'm just like the guy, you know, on the Millennium Falcon or whatever, just using the toilet, you know, whatnot. I just want to have like my name in the credits, be like Sam Humphrey, you know, janitor on Millennium Falcon. That's cool.
I love it.
Add it to the Instagram bio. It's really getting interesting, actually. That's
so
amazing.
Originally, really quick, usually I point these things out at the very beginning because I'm a sucker for accents. I love accents. I do believe I could do a British one really well, but tell everyone where you are from.
So I am originally from New Zealand, but I've actually been living in Australia for 11 years.
Wow.
So they said you're a Kiwi actor.
I
didn't
am
know
a Kiwi
that was
actor.
a thing. That's a thing.
I let Hugh get away with calling me an Aussie. It's Hugh.
Hey, you're in good company right now. Chris Hemsworth, Margot Robbie. I mean, you guys are killing the game.
We are indeed.
Do you guys have a certain bond?
Yeah.
Like, hey, Aussie. Like, is there some, because there's not too many Australian actors within the industry, but everyone knows who they are.
Yeah.
Do you guys all know each other?
Well, at the moment, I've kind of only built the list at Hugh, but I mean, our director was also Australian, so, you know, we had kind of built that relationship because, you know, we're all from Australia.
Yeah.
We're all Aussies in a sense, so
we
kind of bonded.
That makes sense.
That's true. So we bonded on set. It was like, you know, that key connection that we're all Aussies.
Yeah.
And where did you guys shoot the movie at?
So we shot it in Manhattan, in New York.
Wow.
A lot of on-location sets as well, though.
And was that your first time in New York, or had you been there before?
My first time in New York.
Wow.
And thoughts?
I will say the weather, I'm not a huge fan of the weather, though. It's a nightmare.
Because you guys shot the film when?
In winter.
Oh, gosh, that's the worst.
So this has been, what, a full year since shooting?
So I shot for 6 months in New York and then a week here in LA.
Okay.
So I think they started a little bit earlier. And then obviously before that we had rehearsals for like 3 months. Wow. So that was pretty intense.
Would you ever consider Broadway?
I would definitely consider it. I think I need to get my singing, my dancing levels up a lot more before I can do Broadway, but definitely open to Broadway.
Like if Star Wars maybe comes to Broadway,
you're done.
I am down.
You're sold. She's like, I don't even get. You could be the. You could do anything. You're like, I'm in it. I love it. For those of you really quickly who are just joining us on the show, we are hanging out with Sam Humphrey from the Greatest Showman movie in theaters right now. You guys, if you're not following us yet, please do so. Right above all of our heads, there should be a little sweetie hi. Just go click on it and follow. And speaking of following, where can everyone follow you on your social medias too?
So I have Instagram, which is Sam Humphrey, which is sam.d.humphrey.
Okay.
I also have Twitter, which is at real Sam Humphrey. And I also have Facebook. My Facebook page is Sam Humphrey. So
pretty
there
simple,
we go.
everyone.
Sam Humphrey.
You're going to find him right there. Do you have a favorite platform?
My favorite platform is probably Instagram.
Okay.
Funny thing is, I actually only started my Instagram like last year.
No way.
It was sort of in the break between the filming the principal photography and the pre-shoots.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh, what do I need to do like to get my social media following higher? And I didn't have Instagram. Crazy, now it's my favorite platform. It's
well,
like
all you needed to do was star in The Greatest Showman.
And
then your Instagram will just
there you go.
It's been skyrocketing. It's crazy.
No, it's amazing. You guys, and if you don't know where to follow him, we will be doing a photo with him after this, and we'll go ahead and put it in our Instagram. If you guys go follow that at Sweetie High, we will tag Sam in it.
Yes.
You can, navigate yourself to there. Like a Waze map right now. That's how you get to his house, his Instagram home.
Yeah.
His home.
But right now, you have him right here in the flesh with us on After the Bell. So if you have any questions, you guys, we are live. We can see you all right now.
Oh, wow.
And you guys can send any questions. If you guys want to get into acting, now's the time to ask Sam. You know, where do I begin? What is the first process when you were 8? You obviously had the inspiration, but then what's the next step? Do you have to go to your family and say, hi, I want to be an actor? Do you go into coaching? I don't know these things.
Well, basically, the first thing I did was like I sort of did in school. I've done acting you know, in high school and all the years that I studied, I did it. My family already knew I wanted to be an actor, so I didn't have to go to them and tell them. It was pretty evident. Also, I'm a sucker for being in the spotlight, so everyone knows I love the center of attention.
I love you!
So great. And you met Cassie? Cassie, you met Sam?
Hey!
How many mirrors do you own at your house?
Do you talk to yourself in the mirror?
I do not talk to myself in the mirror.
I do talk to myself in the mirror, so, you know.
But that's probably how you get into character and things like that. I do not talk to myself in the mirror.
No,
I just look at myself in the mirror.
Yesterday we played Truth or Dare, and it was one of the questions. So
was it?
Guys,
I didn't even
we're
notice
live here every day, Monday through Friday, not Friday. That day doesn't
Friday,
exist.
that doesn't exist.
We do Thrive most days, though. So Monday through Friday, every day, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we played Truth or Dare, and that was one of the questions. And he, who our guest was, did talk to himself in the mirror.
Bobby XCAI says you are so cool.
Thank you.
So, what are some of the more difficult parts of acting? I know that's not, always talked about. It's not as glamorous, of course, failing, but that has to happen more times than succeeding in this industry, unfortunately.
Yeah, of course.
So what's it like? Does a failure, is it necessary, do you think, as an actor?
I don't think it's necessary, but every actor goes through that, stage where they fail and they pick themselves up again and they fail again. I know I definitely had my moments where I failed, and I was, at the point where, I possibly wanted to give up acting.
Right.
But I think because it was actually like a hobby of mine, of a passion, even when, when you failed, that I still wanted to keep going at it.
Right.
And honestly, I did quit acting for a year, and I got a real job.
Which was?
In hospitality. It was a nightmare.
Oh, wow. No, we got to be center of attention. We got to be on the screen, on the camera.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I did that for a year, and then I quit my job, and I was like, you know what? All the money that I earned, which was like, $3,000 in my savings, which I actually kept. I was like, hey, why don't I gamble that on making a show reel? So I did that.
You did that, and here you
it
are.
paid off.
Were you scared to get back into the industry and then go into the movie? Because Hannah McKinney, she wants to know, were you scared to play in such a huge movie?
Yeah, I was definitely pretty intimidated. When I found out that Hugh was the lead, first off, I did freak out, and I did I did kind of fangirl a little bit. I'll be honest. I was like, Hugh's in the film, he's the lead. I'm like, oh my goodness. So I was like, I've got to nail the audition, and so I nailed the audition, and then I kind of was like stunned when I actually met Hugh for the very first time.
Can you take us there? Like, where were you when you
set
met
the stage?
Take me there.
So I went into the rehearsal studio. First, I met some of the supporting cast, and we bonded because they were they were the oddities, and we bonded. And then our director comes over, and he's like, "Hey, this is Hugh." And at first, he looks different from when you see him on screen. So he had a bit of stubble going on, and like that. And so I kind of looked up at him because he's 6'2". He's a very tall guy. I looked up at his face, and I sort of blanked for a little bit. I was like, "Who is this guy?" And then all of a sudden, my mind clicked. I was like, oh. My face just went blank. I was like, that's Hugh." And then I was kind of trying to be really casual and cool. I was like, "Hey, Hugh, how's it going?" Just casual. And inside, I was completely fangirling, freaking out. I was like, "It's Hugh Jackman, oh my goodness, my job here." And so that was me.
Is there anybody that you still have not met yet in the industry that you really want to? I know Hugh was kind of, inspiration, but now that that's checked off, who's next?
I don't look, there's a lot of actors which I would love to meet and love to work with. I think another one on the top of my list would be Chris Pratt. He's hilarious. I love him.
Okay, we're gonna settle a debate right now. Who is, and I'm gonna see how loyal you are to your Aussies. Who is the best looking Chris? It's like a question in the industry right now. We've got Chris Pratt, Chris Hemsworth, Chris Pine.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know.
You can't go wrong with the Chris, is what I'm noticing here.
Or we could do it who's the best acting Chris?
Trending hashtag Chris.
That's good. I like that.
Oh, that's very tough. They all have their different quirks and their different personalities.
Right.
Chris Pratt, he's hilarious. Chris Hemsworth, he's got the looks. He's very handsome, and he plays Thor. Come on.
Right. And you want to be the superhero.
That's true. And then, you know, Chris Pine, you just can't go wrong with
No.
him either. I mean, it's very tough. I mean, personally, I have to say, Chris Pratt, I love him.
Okay.
So, but you know, all Chris's are amazing.
Yeah.
So.
Especially the ones from Australia.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Chris, that's
Exactly
right.
true. Right? If anyone out there watching and you guys just joined the show, well, hey, you're not too late because we are still here joined by Sam Humphrey from The Greatest Showman. You guys must go see the movie if you have not seen it yet.
Yes.
And it's actually out again. We talked about this weekend.
Yep, a
The
sing-along
is out
version.
that you can go see. And This Is Me. If you haven't heard it yet, don't leave the show per se, but the next thing you go do is go Google it and download it. And all those good things. It's
And
so good.
where can everyone follow you again? Please tell everyone.
You can follow me on my Instagram, which is sam.d.humphrey, or you can follow me on my Facebook or my Twitter. My Twitter is @realsamhumphrey, and my Facebook is simply Sam Humphrey.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate it. We are so excited to have you. And before we end the show, today is Friday, which marks 1 week, you guys. Do you like country music?
I do like country music.
Okay,
yeah.
well, our girl Tegan Marie, her song Keep It Lit is coming out in 7 days, 1 week from today. We're going to air a promo right after this, but get ready to just have your socks knocked off. It is unbelievable. You may recognize a couple people in the music video, you know, but
I don't know, just two, co-hosts.
two co-hosts making our music video debut.
Debut.
But if you want to check her out, you guys, Tegan Marie Official on Instagram. And then, of course, make sure you guys are following Sweetie High as well. Thank you so much, Sam, for joining us today. We appreciate it. And we're going to end after the bell today with a Keep It Lit promo. 1 week, guys, 7 days. Keep it lit. Keep it lit. Hashtag. Keep it lit.
And go see The Greatest Showman and keep it lit. Just do all those things.
Keep
this
it lit.
weekend. Keep it
Hashtag.
lit by going to see The Greatest Showman.
Yes,
All
there you
right.
go. Bye,
Cool.
guys.
Yeah.